Quite a number of online personalities are serving to better promote popular Korean food onto international dining tables. And on today's segment of Issues and Insiders, we have the pleasure of speaking to a pair of such individuals. Welcome to Friday's edition of Issues and Insiders. I'm Min Sunhee. Today we share with you a taste of efforts by online personalities to better promote Korean menus beyond borders. For this, I have Sarah Ahn live on the line. Sarah, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I also have Gaezari here in the studio. Gaezari, it's a pleasure to have you here as well.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Right, Sarah, let's begin then with a very brief introduction about yourself.
Hi, I'm Sarah Ahn. I'm the content creator behind Honest Kitchen, where I share my mom's recipes and our family life with the world.
And Gaezari, do tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Won Tae-han, and I go by Gaezari on TikTok and YouTube. I'm 26 years old and born and raised in Los Angeles, California. And after being introduced to Korean culture and food, I knew I wanted to encounter or experience Korean life myself. So after working multiple part-time jobs and saving enough money, I was able to come to Korea after graduating university in 2021. And now I was supposed to study in Korea for only one semester, but my one semester became 2 years. And now I plan to live in the country for a very, very long time.
Right, that's great to know.
Yeah.
Now, before we delve into that then, Sarah, you started, I believe, your TikTok channel back in the year 2019 to share your mother's Korean recipes. Could you tell us a bit more about the background behind this initiative?
Yeah, of course. So I wanted to share my recipes with the world because I figured I wanted to live a life where I would have my mom's recipes for the rest of my life. And so I made it a mission to collect all her recipes. I'm still collecting them till this day. And while at it, might as well share it on social media and with the rest of the world for them to enjoy as well. And since then, people have picked up on our recipes and our personalities, and we've been able to grow a following and a community that we appreciate so much on Honest Kitchen.
Right. And Gaezari, you also started a virtual platform comparing Korean college cafeteria menus for students. Could you tell us a bit about what ignited your initiative?
So the reason why I started Korean school lunch was, I would say, by chance. So when I first came to Korea, it was during COVID-19 period. And at that time, it was a very serious situation. And when I first came to Korea, I was sent to a quarantine facility where I stayed for 2 weeks. And for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they would serve us toshiraks or Korean lunch boxes that would also be found in convenience stores. And I knew I wanted to make a video about it, but not like serious video about it. So when I made my video about those lunches provided, it gained a lot of attention from foreigners and Korean people, because many people did want to come to Korea at the time, but didn't really know the situation. And from that, and Corona was ending, I was able to attend Seogang Korean Language Institute, where I was also thinking about making content, but not sure exactly what. So after attending class every single day, I would eat at the school cafeteria, and I would send photos to my friends and family, and they would always be fascinated by the dishes being served at a very low price, because most of the dishes weren't very popular or mainstream back then. So I was able to take a lot of side dishes, main dishes, and put it on one school tray. And the reactions from my friends did make me want to make a real video about it. So in the school tray, you would have many dishes. And the way I recorded it was a first-person point of view, which allowed viewers to see things more closely and experience it as if they're there themselves. And after my first video, it got 1 million views, which made me think maybe I should continue these series even more. And after the success, I've been getting comments telling me, you should go to other universities and make videos. So I did that. I recorded not only at Seogang University, I made videos at Seoul National University, Korea National University, and Ewha Women's University. And that series has been going on very well. And at the moment, I'm taking a break from school lunches and I'm doing Korean office lunches, because it's also using a school tray, and it's basically the same format, but in a different setting, and that series is also doing very well at the moment.
I see. I hope you get to do one for our company as well.
I hope so too.
Right. Sarah, you were behind the viral hit for frozen kimbap that led to it being sold out for a while there in the US. Could you walk us through that intriguing incident?
Yeah, of course. So I went to Trader Joe's, which is an American supermarket here in America. And it's a pretty common market that a lot of Americans are familiar with, where they carry basic items, but also unique items. And when I went there to get my groceries, I noticed one day they were selling frozen kimbap. And obviously, as a Korean myself, I've never seen Korean frozen kimbap being sold there. And so I was very intrigued by this. Immediately went home and just knew I needed to record my mom and get her reaction. And her reaction was just so authentically so surprised about this product. And I just quickly recorded her, put it on TikTok and Instagram, got over millions of views. I think on TikTok, it got over 11 million views, and on Instagram, many million views. And it really sold out the product nationally, where even till this day, people are still unable to get the product. I can't get it myself, and I blame myself partially. And ever since then, the kimbap, frozen kimbap trend has just kept rising and rising.
What was the taste like, Sarah?
I think the best way to describe it is exactly what we said in the video, that it's not bad. It's very sweet, and a lot of the flavor comes from the sweetened burdock root that's marinated in soy sauce, and it's vegan. So yeah, it's very sweet soy sauce and vegan tasting.
Okay, I can't wait to taste it. Okay, then I understand that one of your favorite food as well is kimbap. What do you believe is the universal appeal?
So when I was young, I would always go to the Korean market with my parents, and in the corner of the market, they would be selling kimbap at a very low price, but the quantity would be pretty a lot. And at that time, Korean food was not very popular, so many dishes weren't available or we weren't really knowing of. But kimbap was actually the first Korean dish I knew because of Korean drama and how often it was being shown. I also believe like the biggest advantage of kimbap is how diverse it could be. Like there would be one type, such as egg kimbap, tuna kimbap, tonkatsu kimbap.
Vegetable kimbap.
Yeah, correct. And this is why a lot of foreigners are very interested in kimbap. Like Sarah mentioned, there's also vegan kimbap, and people do eat kimbap to go on a diet. So it's a very good option for people for very diverse diet options. And it's a very balanced nutrition because of the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in it. And not only is it healthy, it's very aesthetically pleasing and very easy to eat, which I think is the most important thing for foreigners.
Right, it's very convenient, of course. Sarah, how do you explain this latest craze, if I may, over kimbap in the US as we speak?
Well, the craze is just growing and growing to start. And I've heard sales for this product is just ever increasing. And I think what we can explain this craze is due to the accessibility of it. Before, if people wanted to buy kimbap, the only place they would be able to find it is at their local Korean grocery market, which not every state in America has. And even then, those are not easy to find. And so the fact that kimbap is being sold at a national grocery market, a national American grocery market, that is, it just makes it accessible for everyone to grab a hold of it and try it.
Right. And Gaezari, beyond bulgogi, kimchi, kimbap, what do you believe will be the next K-pop food, if I may, to please global palates?
Out of all the dishes right now, I would say tteokbokki would be the most potential to be most popular or known as the K-pop food. For the reason being, like in Korea or internationally, spicy food has been popular and very liked in many types of cultures, and especially with Korean spicy food, especially on TikTok or YouTube, people encounter it through TikTok challenges like spicy fire noodles, and that's how people become more curious about Korean cuisine. And I feel like the concept of tteokbokki or rice cakes is foreign to many international people, but not foreign enough that they would not want to try it. And I believe it is a very safe option for people to try because still it's a very spicy food and people love spicy food from around the world. And there were times that I posted tteokbokki on my accounts, and the reactions would always be very high. So one video, I posted kimbap being eaten with tteokbokki, and that's one of my most liked views so far because the people love seeing the two being eaten together. And my next video was tteokbokki and Korean fried chicken because I actually drizzled the tteokbokki sauce on top of the fried chicken, and people thought that was strange, but it wasn't a bad idea. So people in the comments always said they want to try it themselves. But besides like the basic red type of tteokbokki, there would be many types that I would include in my videos, such as bacon cream tteokbokki, carbonara tteokbokki, black bean tteokbokki, and so on. So that allowed foreigners to know that there's more than one type of tteokbokki out there, especially if they can't handle the spice level of red tteokbokki, they could try any other options that matches their taste palette. So I think that's like one thing that tteokbokki and kimbap have in common. Like, if you don't like one, you could try the other and choose to your preference or change the ingredients to whatever you like.
Right, there are many options and you can be as creative as you'd like to be. Sarah, do you suppose the growing popularity of K-culture, including its food, of course, is reflecting positively on perhaps foreign perception of Korea as a whole?
Absolutely. Kimbap, for example, was an item that I brought to school when I was in 3rd or 5th grade back in elementary school, and I was once bullied for it because people were so unfamiliar with it. But with the rise of Korean culture being accepted in America and becoming quite popular and a trending topic, kimbap is now very normalized and people are curious about it and they want to learn about it. They want to eat it and then they want to make it. And it goes beyond just kimbap. It's just about every food, and it goes into other sectors like Korean makeup, Korean skincare, Korean design, Korean fashion. It goes beyond that. And so it definitely does a lot for our culture being spread out to different parts of the world.
Right, indeed. And Gaezari, what are your thoughts regarding the interest in K-culture, especially among the youth overseas?
I do believe that K-culture and particularly K-pop has become such a global impact on the younger generation, and it has become such a cultural phenomenon that has been able to cross geographical boundaries and bring people from diverse communities together. And my initial exposure to Korea was actually through K-pop as well, which sparked my interest in Korean culture. In 2006, my first K-pop groups were actually SNSD and Big Bang. And I knew after listening to K-pop for such a long time, I wanted to come to Korea myself and experience everything myself. And nowadays, Korean pop culture has become such a big thing nowadays compared to the past. And I see many individuals trying or taking the effort to study Korean, even though they don't live in Korea, but they do plan to live in Korea. Whenever I read the comments in my videos, I always see non-Koreans commenting in Korean or responding to other Korean comments. And I find that so fascinating that they're probably not in Korea, and they're still making a huge effort to study the language. And I think that's very admirable of them. And not only the language, people try to learn the culture because they do plan to come here as well. And it's very fascinating and respectful in my opinion. And nowadays, there are so many K-pop groups such as New Jeans and aespa that even non-K-pop fans that don't listen to K-pop usually do know of them. And if you think about it in the past, people didn't really know K-pop groups unless you're a K-pop fan. And looking ahead, I do believe that K-culture will grow more in influence, and it will have the potential to shape global trends and inspire more creativity, and also bring more diverse communities together.
Right, and against this backdrop of the prediction that Gaezari has shared with us, Sarah, how significant are online platforms like TikTok and, of course, YouTube in sharing the taste of K-food beyond its borders, do you think?
They play a huge role. Social media is a power horse that we should not brush off our shoulders, and we should take it very seriously because these social media platforms have the power to take something that was once a niche into the mainstream. And so I think it does a great job in exposing these foods to people who may have never seen it. And we have to commend social media for that because they're spreading awareness about our food and our culture with people outside of Korea.
Right, indeed. And talking about spreading awareness of our food outside the country, Gaezari, what are some of your future plans?
So my plan and goal in the future is to get permanent residency in Korea and continue to live in the country for a very long time as a content creator and also as a student, as I do want to learn Korean even more and improve my ability in order to communicate with everyone here. And I also plan to continue making Korean content for foreigners who are interested about Korea and for Koreans that are interested on foreigners' perspective of living in South Korea. So for my content, my first series was Korean school lunch for students. My next series was Korean office lunch for workers. And my next series is actually Korean high school lunches or Korean hotel buffets. And regarding Korean high school lunches, I've been actually starting to record nowadays, especially at high schools such as Gumi High School or Incheon Academy of Arts and Science, as I find high schools in Korea very fascinating because they offer such amazing and diverse options for these students. And I want to showcase it to everyone on TikTok and YouTube. And for hotel buffets, I plan to make more content for people that plan to come to Korea and need accommodation or tourist places to go. In the future, this is a personal goal of mine. I want to open my own cafe or bakery and introduce flavors and dishes from California that has not been really introduced or popularized in the country so far. And I want to be the one to be able to share it with everyone in Korea.
Right, and before we send you off, just one more question. Gaezari, with regard to the content that you've made thus far regarding on cafeteria food in universities and those in the offices, what particular menu would you say garnered a lot of attention from your viewers, with the exception of tteokbokki, of course, and kimbap?
Oh, tteokbokki and kimbap. I would have to say,
Any of the spicy food, or was it the side dishes? That
oh,
got
it
you
was
lots of attention?
actually the sweet potato croquets.
I love those.
I didn't expect it, but a lot of foreigners loved seeing it and kept on saying they want to try croquets in Korea because I know back then, croquets was a huge thing in Korea. And I think people are getting more interested in it because I keep on making videos of croquets now and then.
And do you suppose that freezing them and perhaps sending them over to the US where Sarah is will get some response there, Sarah? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Right.
Send it frozen, we'll love it.
Right. And Sarah, what are your plans for the year ahead with regard to K-food?
Just continue sharing Korean food like we have it as we always do at home. I really want to share the Korean life that we have here. Even though we're in America, I have the most Korean parents and people are just fascinated by the foods that I share that's unaltered to fit the American palate. They're just very Korean, made the ajima way. And I just want to keep showing that and sharing that with the world to see what Korean culture is like. And you never know with social media what opportunities can arise. Like I was sent to Busan just a couple months ago from TikTok, and I never expected that. And so I'll see where the opportunities take me, and just go from there.
All right, and hopefully the next time you're here in South Korea, we'll get a chance to see you here in the studio, Sarah. Thank you so much for your time and your thoughts today.
Thank you so much.
And Gaezari, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Right, well, that brings us to the end of this week's editions of Issues and Insiders. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.